I'll just give a background about myself and what I'm going to talk about. Go to HSCRF. So I'm going to talk about food science. What does holistic science mean? I'm no expert by any means. I'm just learning, and as I'm learning, my intent here is to share my learnings, and hopefully I can practice it along with this. So I'll ask Deepak Anandji and Shailesh Anandji to help me with this presentation if I get stuck here. I will try to do my best explanation of my understanding of what food science is, right? There's so much conscious, so much effort, and so much education about what to eat, when to eat, why should you eat, what are the implications of eating. And there's a religious aspect of it, there is a health aspect of it. At the end of the day, there's all aspect of it. What your mind, body, and speech is a effect of what you eat, and that is an effect of how it affects your spirituality. So, okay, so food and water, in technical there's also air. And if you don't know, if you have the what to eat, how to eat, how much to eat, when to eat, and what focus you eat, leads to an effect on your mind, body, and speech. Positive or negative. If you don't have an incomplete knowledge of it, has a negative impact on it, which affects your spiritual journey, your spiritual consciousness. How do you react, how do you manage yourself, has a huge implication of it. Food has a direct effect on mind and body. The body portion is a lot easier to say, as you can tell by looking at me. The improper balance of how much you eat can also cause to a not proper body, but it also affects on your mind. Right? That's an old saying. It also has the same effect on it. Water has a speech. If you live, just for example, this is to me it's very fascinating. There's so many dialects of Gujarati language. It's written the same way in a 100-mile radius, or if you go 200 miles north. Way people speak is a little different. The English language originated from the same people, but it's not spoken the same way. It was taught the same way, and over time, like Europeans came to India, the English people came to India, English people came to America. But how we say the English language here is way different than how people in India say, or people in the original who said it, say it in England, right? Or in Africa, Australia. It's completely different, initiated from the same people. Why? The science said it's because of water. Water has a big impact on how you say stuff. And that's why the language evolves, even though the fundamentals of the language are exactly the same, when you say it differently because of the water has an impact on it. So I'll focus on the simple things which I like to do is what, how, when of food. So the first, the quick question to me is not what to eat, is how much to eat, right? I think everybody talks about what food I should eat, what should I compose of. I think the reality is not what makes you sick, or it's how much you should eat. Goal of life, I guess I like to always ask, is it to eat to live, or you live to eat?
Live to eat.
So your answer will be dependent on what you prescribe to, right? And as I said, what to eat or how much to eat is everybody talks about what to eat, and the reality is how much to eat. I think there's somebody who said it, more people in the world die today, and it's an absolute fact, is because how much they eat, not because they don't eat today. People die of starvation are very few, and people die because of excessive eating or improper eating, because of disease and stuff like that, right? There's way too many people that die because of that, as opposed to people die because they don't have adequate food supply. So to me, this is a bigger question of how much should you eat before you try to answer what you should eat. And I guess the answer is it's eat in normality. I guess normality is different for different people. Depends on your different profession you are. If you're Phelps, you need 8,000 calories per day because that's the profession you're in. A guy like me who sits on a computer all day, I can leave with 1,500 calories. That's my limitations for what I should eat, right? So what's the scientific answer? So if you look at your size of your stomach, like the actual stomach, the right way of eating it each time you go eat something is 50% of your stomach should be full, you should fill with food. 25% should be with water. And leave 1/4 of your stomach open. Okay? That's the right proportion of how much you should eat. If you go back and say, how big is my stomach? The normal answer, the scientific answer, is look at your fist. Right? That's a normal stomach for each human being on it, right? So this is how much you should eat, what is the size of your fist. But over time, it stretches for some reason, and it's a little bigger than it should be. Then once you know how much you should eat, then you should focus on what should you eat. As I said, the whole world is all about talking about it should be high carb diet, low carb diet, a high protein diet, sugar-free diet. I follow seafood diet. Whatever I see, I eat. If you really want to know scientifically, right, your food should consist of 6 taste elements in it. You balance, what is called a balanced diet. It should be something which is a little sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, like tiku, and astringent, right? All of these 6 elements should be in your meal, right? In the right proportion. Doing excessive sweet versus salty all have negative connotation. They all play an important role in your body, right? For example, the bitter detoxifies and lightens the tissues, right? So every one of those food choices you make a conscious effort that you can have it. If you really look at traditional Gujarati food and all the spices that are included in your spices box, it has every single element in it. Right? If you prepare any Gujarati meal properly done, it has all the 6 elements in it. So this is a key of what you should eat. And then the side effects, there is a side effect once you know what proportion of ingredients you need on it, because there is a spiritual aspect of it, is what type of food you should, right? This is going to be more of a science of molecules and ahimsa. But there are different types of indriyas, 5 senses, or different types of senses in it. So what does holistic science recommend? Try to eat stuff which has 1 senses. At the end of the day, we need to eat something that's live. You cannot eat a stone, right? So if fruit, vegetables, those are live products, but they are ek indriya. And if I were to eat them, they don't get scared of me trying to grab and eat them. They don't have, I'm not creating ahimsa by eating that from them. On the other side, if I go on the 5 senses side, if it's non-vegetarian, that has an impact on it, right? And it is, even in that, there is a different sense. It depends how developed that senses are, has a big implication on it, right? So this is frowned upon. If we say dogs, cats, why don't people eat that? Because the level of development and attachment with those things is significantly higher, and so is human. And on the other side, fish, chicken, pig, it's different means of acceptance in our society today, right? So it's because of their development of all the 5 senses they have on it. On the 1 sense side, start with grains, fruits, fermented foods, and then the last things that grow underground, like the onions, potatoes, and everything like that, right? So stick to the 1 senses. It is easiest for your body to digest. That is natural for us to digest. If you go on the other side, there is an implication of your health and awareness. It has a big implication on more you go this dimensional, and more you go this direction, it has a big impact on your mind, how you think, and also has an impact on your body and how you process those things. So how should you eat? I think that's another question. How much and what you should eat. Drink as if you're eating, eat as if you're drinking. What does that mean? So when you bite something, chew enough times so it's actually a liquid in your mouth before it actually goes to your stomach, and vice versa. When you drink, don't drink it fast, actually drink as if you're eating. And it starts with the whole process. There's a reason why you eat so much. The reason why there's senses, taste buds in your tongue. They're not just to provide a good or bad decision on what you're eating, but actually they are the first signals to your body to get ready for what you're consuming, right? So your stomach is nothing but a mixer that just grinds the food for you. But your taste buds, besides telling you how delicious or how bad it is, it actually signals your intestine and the other things of what enzymes or what you need to do to digest that food, right? It's important how slowly you eat that food and with the presence of mind. If you eat it without the presence of mind, your body doesn't know what you're eating. If you don't know what you're eating, your body cannot get ready to digest the food that you need to digest the food. So all of those things are subtle, everybody knows it, but those are the important things in terms of figuring out how to eat it, what to eat, and how much to eat it. And more presence of mind you have, the entire process of digestion from start to the end can have a huge impact of getting nutrition value out of your food that you're consuming, and also ability to live a healthy lifestyle after that point. So I think that's all I had for the presentation. Any questions, comments, concerns? Thank you.
Wonderful job.